So this qurbani, it is a very big gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This qurbani, the intentions is not the meat. The intention is taqwa. Today, people, the modern world today, even the Muslims themselves, they say that why are we wasting our money on qurbani? Why don't we just give this money to some poor? You giving your wealth and money to the poor, you will not even get one single reward. At the time of qurbani, if qurbani is farz on you, if qurbani is wajib on you, you will not even get one reward. Even if qurbani is wajib on you. So this kind of understanding, when it's time, that's why there's 3 days of qurbani. 10, 11, 12. Which means after the 12th, time is expired. Time is expired. Now you cannot do qurbani. Even if you do the farz qurbani, the wajib qurbani, throughout the whole year, you get 100 rams. You get 100 goat or sheep or cow throughout the whole year, and you give qurbani, your qurbani will not be accepted. At this time, we have to see in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have to see, to understand something, the rulings, you have to see the consistent in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina, for 10 constant years he done qurbani. For 10 constant years, and this hadith is in Tirmizi. For 10 constant years he done qurbani. And at the time of Hajjatul Wida, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sacrificed 100 camels. 63 with his own hands, and 37 he told Hazrat Ali. 63 camels he slaughtered with his own hand. And believe me, I tell you, in the house of Allah, that you will get tired just sacrificing one camel. You'll be lucky for the whole day to be strong enough to just sacrifice one camel. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sacrificed 63 camels with his own hand. Now you could imagine how the strength of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was a miracle. This was a part of his miracle. The mu'jiza of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam even sacrificed behalf of the ummah as well. So the intention, the motive of qurbani is not the meat. And I give you just a little understanding what I'm trying to explain. Why do I say not the meat? It's like the example, like in those days, I'm not talking about today's days, because today if you want to go to the parliament house, or do you want to go to the prime minister's house, it's impossible. Even if you write letters for the whole year, he'll give you an appointment to go and meet. It's impossible. But in those days, people, when they used to make an appointment to go and meet the king, when they used to go, before they go, they used to take something for the king. For the king. But obviously the king is the king. He is ruled and he has the empire throughout the whole continent. So for him to accept something small from someone who is inferior is less chance. I mean, he won't, it's not just him not accepting it or accepting it, but the meaning what I'm trying to say is, the person who comes with that thing, he doesn't take it, but what does he do? He put his hand on top of it, and then he removes his hand, which means that your gift has been accepted. Your gift has been accepted. Even I have not taken your gift, me as a king. I'm just giving you a worldly example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the meat and the blood does not reach to Allah. Allah, neither He intends for your meat nor your blood. But لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. Allah says that neither Allah intends for your meat and the blood, but Allah intends for the taqwa. What intention, the fear, and are you doing this solely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So the meat is not intended. After doing the qurbani, Allah says it's yours now. The qurbani is yours. The qurbani is yours. Now you can do whatever you like to it. Even a person who gives qurbani, even if he doesn't distribute the whole qurbani meat and he keeps it to himself, it's still jais. But they say there's 3 portions in meat. One to the poor, one to the relative, and one for yourself. But especially in this country, we don't do qurbani with our own hands. So it is recommended, at least you should do some sort of qurbani. it is recommended, at least you should do some sort of qurbani, that you get the feeling of qurbani, and the children can understand it. Yes, it's Zil Hajjah now, it's time of qurbani, and let them see the qurbani. So at least give a goat or a sheep qurbani. Now qurbani can only be done on 4 things. Qurbani can only be done on 4 things: camel, cow, goat, sheep. You cannot give qurbani on a chicken. Like today, you cannot give qurbani on a chicken. Some people, I don't know, what do I say, Zahiri, those people who understand hadith from its visible appearance. They don't go into the interpretation of the opinions of the scholars. You have to understand hadith, you have to go back to the opinions of the scholars, the aslaf, because they understand hadith better than me and you. So what they say, they bring the hadith of that hadith where when you come on a Friday, if you first come earlier, you have gave a camel in the path of Allah. You come second, you gave a cow. Third, goat. Fifth, chicken. But they don't understand that if you come 6, you are given an egg. How would you sacrifice an egg in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How would you sacrifice an egg in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So it's not always, the hadith is not always what is literally there. You have to go back and resolve and get your final verdict and opinion from the scholars. What has the scholars said about this hadith? And what hadith contradicts another hadith? Because hadith, in hadith, there's always contradiction. And you have to find the final essence, the final answer to the hadith. There's always contradictions in hadith. So anyway, so the qurbani itself is very, very important, that you eat the qurbani. Because, the qurbani, the meat itself is a very blessed. There's so much barakah in qurbani. That's why it's very, very highly recommended that you should do qurbani yourself. You should do qurbani yourself. But even if you can't do a cow or a ram, whatever, at least give a goat or a sheep and do it in your own homes and let the children see. And on this day, eat qurbani. Eat qurbani. As soon as Eid is finished, that's why it is sunnah to do Eid al-Adha, Salatul Eid al-Adha early as possible. Early as possible. So as soon as Eid is finished, you go and eat, you do your qurbani and have the meat. Start cooking and eating the meat. Because it comes in a hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes the host. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes the host on the day of qurbani. Allah is feeding you. And Shaykh Zakari rahmatullah alayhi, you know what he used to do? Before the time of qurbani used to come, he used to minimize his food. And when the time of qurbani used to come, once the qurbani is done, he used to fill his stomach up with the meat. And he used to say that I have today ate from the barakah and the host of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why the shair, the poet, he says, أحب الصالحين ولست منهم لعل الله يرزقني الصالحات. That we love our pious, we love our aslam, who have gave their utmost life, every second of their life for this deen and Islam, for the promotion of deen and Islam. وَلَسْتُ مِنْهُمْ, even though we are not amongst them, but we love them. So at least we have to follow their ways and their mottos and their tariqah, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may forgive us as well, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So anyway, so the qurbani is very, very important, that you do your qurbani yourself. But if you can't do your qurbani, if you're going to do your qurbani elsewhere throughout the world, make sure your qurbani is done after the day you read your Eid, not before. Because if your qurbani has been done before you have done your Eid Salat, your qurbani is not accepted. Your qurbani is not accepted. Now the next days, which is Ayyam Tashriq, you have to make sure you read your takbeers after every Salah. So, which is from the day of Arafah, from the 9th, and till the 13th of Dhul Hajjah, which is Wednesday, until Asr. So you read your takbir after every salah. It is wajib upon men, and even the females. It is recommended that they read the takbir slowly. The next day will be Eid, so at least you should make preparation for the day of Eid, having a bath, wearing new clothes, things, coming to the Eid Salat as soon as possible, not to read any nafil Salat after Fajr Salat. There is no shuruk, there is no shuruq, there is no nafil salat after Fajr salat, and you come to the Eidgah in the masjid to do your Eid and come and listen to the khutbah. Very carefully. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept what has been said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our qurbanis. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our qurbani in the day of Qiyamah as a means of salvation. And may Allah accept all the Hujjaj Ikram and make all the entire Ummah be amongst the du'as of the Hujjaj Ikram. Jazakallah khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdika.